What is up, my goddesses and goddesses, and welcome back to my channel. Alright guys, we are going to get into covering the brows, how I cover the brows. There are many ways of covering brows, but this is just two ways. There's two ways that I cover my brow. I'm just going to do one way this time, but I'll tell you how I do the other way as well as I go through how I'm going to cover it this time. So stay tuned for that. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe down below. Go like all my social media, leave a comment and like. I'm back on the YouTube right now. Hopefully I can keep YouTube up. We shall see. But let's get into this. All right guys, so here we go. To cover your brows, I highly recommend using a cream product over a liquid product because it is thicker. Of course, creams are thicker, and it's less likely your hairs will pop from a cream product than a liquid product. So anytime you're going to do put stuff on your eyebrows, of course, powder it down. Powder. A lot of people forget to set what you place. So that is the number one key thing. So sometimes I'll go in with, well, most of the time I'll go in with the white. This is just a palette of creams. The white was right here. There's a little bit left. Usually I need to get more. Usually I'll go in with white. This time I'm gonna go in with my highlight stick foundation color, which looks like this. This is from Juvia's Place. I just got these. I freaking love these. But before I do that, I need to get into moisturizing my skin. I'm gonna let my skin moisturize while I'm doing my eyes. So I like to go in with Mr. C Skincare You Look Thirsty moisturizer. This is so cool. I've never had a moisturizer like this. After applying it, it has this cooling effect. So this is a hydrating moisturizer, and I'll go in with a little bit of it all over the face, of course. So you want to moisturize that skin. Prepping your skin is important in any makeup that you do, whether it's drag or regular makeup. Always prep your skin. Because if you don't, especially if you don't use a primer, which I'm not going to use a primer this time, it is important to prep your skin so that your makeup looks flawless and it can last all day long. So that is my moisturizer. Don't forget your ears and your neck. A lot of people forget that when you put makeup down there. Even though I'm not putting makeup down there right now, I still like to moisturize. So now that I have moisturized, I'm gonna go in. I like to go in with a flat brush. This is the painter's brush. I honestly don't think, like, especially cream products, you need to have an expensive brush or even a name brand brush. Flat painter's brushes are really good, especially for line work. I like to use a painter's brush. So I'm gonna go with my stick, put that there. And I like to keep the top portion of my brow. So I'll draw from here and I'll go up at an angle towards the top of my brow, right at the arch, and I'll come down with it like so. So basically I'm creating, actually not down, out a little bit. I'm creating the bottom base of my brow, my new brow shape, so it's easier for me to draw my brows on instead of covering the whole brow and then trying to draw on a brand new brow and guessing. I already have that stencil there for me for my new brow. So that's just a little trick that I do. You guys can just cover the whole brow if you want to. But I do recommend after covering the brow that you set it. Make sure you set that. A lot of people forget to set it and just start going in with their eye makeup, and they wonder why hairs start popping through is because you're not setting. It's a cream product, so you're not setting it, and you need to set. Now I like to go in with a dry, I said dry beauty blender because you are on glue still. So I don't like to go in with a wet beauty blender on my eyebrow coverage. I like to keep it dry so you see how it's covered. Now if I want a little bit more coverage, I'll go a little thicker, blend it out. Just blend, blend, blend. If you're hearing noise, that is family in the background. Yes, I am doing this at night right now. So, and that is the brow coverage. I will go and set that with my RTMA No Color Powder. And that's how I cover my brows. If you want to cover your whole brow, you can cover your whole brow. But I highly recommend using a cream product, whether it's a stick in stick form or a palette form. Always, always for me, always cream products covering the brow, no liquid. All right, guys, so I set that in place. Powder. Always want to go in with a matte mattifying powder. Don't go in with a shimmer powder. The reason why is because you see queens who have like the shiny, where they cover their brows, is because they're using something that's not a matte powder. And this is why I like to use a cream product that is a mattifying to cover the brows, so you don't get the shine like a lot of people do. So now I'm gonna go in with my base. This is my P. Louise base, eyeshadow base. I always use a base on top of where I set covered my brows. And I love the P. Louise base. You can use whatever you want. If you want to use the stick, you can use the stick as a base or whatever. Use whatever you have. Use your resources. I'm going to be going in with the CXC Beauty Royal Reborn palette. I think it's not available anymore, I believe. It looks like this. This is like a perfect smoky eye palette, and I absolutely love, love, love this palette. So I'm gonna be going in with this palette today with this look. So I'm gonna do one eye, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I did. All right, guys, welcome back. As you can see, I have one eye done, and I'm gonna show you how I do it on this eye. I already went ahead and prepped my eye with my P. Louise base. Yes, I go over with another cream base over top what I've already set, because I just set my brow and I didn't kick it on. I just brushed that powder on to set it. I did say I was going to go in with the CXC Beauty Royal Reborn palette. Also, I'm going to be using the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes palette as well, because this one doesn't have a light shade, so I like this shade for my brow bone. So that is the first thing I'm going to go in with. I'm going in with a fluffy flat brush. This is the JH33 brush, and I'm just going to pat. I like to pat the color on. I don't like to swipe, because you just put on your base and you don't want it to smear. So I'm just going to pat that color on, and I like to go all the way in color. And like I said, if you hear noise in the background, that is family. Sorry about that. So this is my brow bone coverage color. The next color I'm going to go in, that color is right here. It's called Exposed. It's the lightest shade in the palette. Next, I'm going to go down here, my next transitional shade, which is Eccentric, in the Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture. If you're not following Artist Couture, go follow them. Great, great brand. Ariel is all right, next I'm going to go in with Eccentric, which is this color right here. I went in with Exposed, which is the lighter shade for the brow bone. Now I'm going in with Eccentric in the Supreme Nudes palette from Artist Couture. If you're not following Artist Couture, go follow them. Mac Daddy is amazing, and this palette is a must for that nice smoky eye, and along with the CXC Beauty. If you're not following CXC Beauty, go follow them as well. So I'm going in with Eccentric and putting it right in the crease, well, a little bit above the crease, and I'll blend it upwards right at the front part of the brow coverage. I'll go all the way over here as well. This color I will go in those circular motion to make sure that blends nicely into, like so, into exposed. I forget the name colors of these. I'm going in with this brown, which is the lighter of the brown, the more dense blending brush to keep carving out my crease. And I'm just going in with an e.l.f. eye crease brush right here. I'm just going to go over, bring that down, go over what I did with the Eccentric palette, and I'm just going to blend it upwards as well a little bit. So basically we're just melting all the colors together right now until I start really sharpening the crease, or deepening, as you would say. Sharp, deep, whatever you want to call it, the crease. All right, now that that is done, I'm going to go in. Usually I'll go back and forth between colors, but I like that blend so far. But I will go back in colors though. Next, I'm gonna go in with the darker, the darker shade, excuse me, in the Reborn palette. And I'm using an eye crease brush. The other brush I use, it's a little bit even more dense. If you can see it, even more dense than the eye blending brush. So I'm gonna follow that line again with this color. So this is going to deepen that crease that you have been doing. And that is the AC kicking off, if you heard that noise. All right, now that I have that, I'm gonna go back in with the lighter shade in the palette over top of the darker shade. Just melt all the colors together. Then this is what I was talking about, where I like to go back and forth between colors to make sure that it is blended seamlessly. And then I'll go back into the next shade, Eccentric, in the Supreme Nudes palette above that, and blend that out even more, like so. And now I'm going to go in with the black shade. This black is amazing. You see this, like even in person, it's even more darker in color. Now I'm gonna really carve this out with the black. Family had to tell them to shut up. So you can see I already carved it out. I want to get it as dark as possible in that half circle or moon shape, and then I'm going to go and blend it out. I'm going to go back up in color with the dark brown shade right at the edge of that black and blend it out with that dark brown, the deepest of the browns in the Royal Reborn palette. And so like that. That is family in the background. Again, I already told them to shut up. I'm about to scream. But I could not do this any other time. I wish they were all asleep. Then I will go in and I'll use a fluffy brush. This is a fluffy flat brush. It's a blending brush from e.l.f. And I'll take a little bit of the black and I will smoke that out to make sure I don't have any harsh edges, and make it even more seamless, like so. Of course, you can keep building color as you would like. I'm gonna go in a little bit more with the the lighter brown in the all right, I think warm is to my liking. Now I'm going to cut my crease. I'm going to be using the P. Louise. I know a lot of people don't like to use the P. Louise or to cut their crease. I find it fine, and I can do it easily, and it works well. See this tray? I like to put like any cream products in something. That way it's off of my hands and my hands are clean, because I used to just dip it on my hand and then swipe from there, and my hand was all messed up. So getting innovative, I use a little dish. I will clean this out every once in a while, of course, at least once a week. But now I'm going to cut this crease. I like to go higher than normal, of course, with my crease. First, I will bring it inward. Of course, I will look up, like forward in the mirror, and I will see how much I want to show of the crease, the lid, not the crease. It's a drag eye, so I like to go a lot higher than my normal crease would, making sure it's even. And it is even. And then I'll fill it, the rest of it in. And I also like to warm it up. So I'll take my finger and I'll warm up the product. It's your best blending tool is these right here. Honestly, warm it up like so. And then I'll take a flat brush like this. This is a JH41 brush, and I'm going to go in with the CXC Beauty. I'm going to go with the lightest shade. I like to build up the base, so I'll take this shade right here, which is like a rosy gold shade. I don't want to take a gold because I'm going to put a gold on top of this, and then I'll pack that color on like so. Oh, I forgot to go outward with this. Fixing the mistakes, fixing the mistakes. I like to make sure I have both. Okay, there we go. Cut, back into it. Now I'm going to go back into it and pack that on. I don't like to swipe because I don't like to smear the product. And of course, you want to get the most pigment payoff on the lid. I'll pack on first and then I will swipe like so. As I'm going to put on a color on top of it. So I'm going to go in with the powder. This is a loose pigment powder. Looks like this. So stunning and so shiny. You can see this eye compared to this eye. Gorgeous. So I will spray my brush, dip into this color. This is called Capricornus. It is the Celestial Loose Pigment. So this is good for the eye, unlike glitters, but I'm going to go in with the glitter. This is a pigment and not like a glitter. So this is safe for the eye. Put it in, you see how much shinier that got? Like, oh my God. And I need to go in a little bit heavier handed. The other side. I feel like it's not as, there we go. See a little bit more in there. Always with loose pigments, you want to spray your brush so that the product can grip to something to put on the eye, like so. And then I'm going to go back down in color to blend out. So I'm gonna start with this color right here in the, I'm trying to find my brush. I think it's this brush. No, it's not this brush, it is this brush. In the Royal Reborn palette. So I'm gonna go at, I like to go at an angle with my blending because it gives a lot more natural look to it than going like the straight up and down. I am not a fan of the straight up and down blending because it looks so harsh. Then I'm gonna go in with the deeper brown shade right here, Royal Reborn. I'm just gonna follow that. Blend the angle. And then I'm going to go in with the black shade in this palette. Just blend that out. In sort of a C shape. Blend that out like so. And those are the eyes. So get ready for the base.